This ain't your ordinary football show. It's the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder.
Although the program is only 6 years old, Saturday's overtime win over the favored Louisiana Tech has to be the biggest win in Old Dominion football's brief history. Is this the game that fans will look back on years from now as the standard bearer for seasons to come? That's a good question for the coach as we wrap up a very successful year with the season finale of the Old Dominion Football Show. I'm Bruce Rader along with Coach Bobby Wilder. I hope everybody has enjoyed the holiday weekend. Coach, it's hard to believe we are only one game away from the end of the regular season.
It is. It's incredibly hard to believe that, Bruce. This weekend's our final regular season game, and what a way to end it. An opportunity to get bowl eligible in Florida, and also, Bruce, an opportunity to get to 4-4 in Conference USA, which would put us in third place in the East. All
right, let's talk about last week's overtime win on Senior Day, because nobody can describe it better than the coach.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm looking back and thinking about all the games as you and I were talking off the air. Is this the biggest win in the history of the program? I think it is. We're 51-20 now as a program, and those 51 wins, Bruce, we've had some big ones, but to beat a team that was 6-0 in the West, #1 in the division, it's set to play Marshall in the championship game, and the way we did it, Bruce, to come back from 24-14 down at the half. Our defense, let me repeat that, our defense pitches a shutout in the second half and only allows a field goal in overtime. Unbelievable win. I got to call it the greatest win we've ever had.
All right, for several weeks before the season, we talked about how good the offense was and how the defense was struggling a little bit. That does not seem to be the case anymore, especially in the second half of Saturday's game.
Yeah, great point, Bruce. In the second half, how about this, Bruce? They ran 21 plays for 43 yards in the second half. This is the #3 offense in Conference USA. Our defense just shut them down, got an interception, only allowed the 1 first down in overtime, then forced the field goal. This is as good a defense as we've ever played, and this is coming off, Bruce, that fourth quarter of the FIU game where the last 8 plays FIU ran was for a total of 9 yards. Our defense has dominated in the fourth quarter of the last 2 games.
I want to talk a moment about David Washington. He had he not performed as he did, I don't think that you would have beaten Louisiana Tech. What a great story this season for him.
No, you bring up a good point, Bruce. We don't win the game without that performance offensively. 8 catches for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the big catch, Bruce, in the first half on 4th down. When we were down 21-7, 26-yard touchdown reception. He broke 3 tackles. And in overtime, Bruce, down 27-24, 2nd and 12, a 19-yard reception, and then the 8-yard touchdown to win it. This was clearly the best game of his career. And this is a guy, Bruce, this is his first year playing wide receiver. I mean, he's a quarterback. So for him to do what he did on Saturday, I think he's playing at an all-conference level right now.
I know Louisiana Tech coach Skip Holtz is your boy. So what did he have to say after the game?
He was incredibly gracious, complimented myself, our staff, our players, Bruce. He had complimented all of the fans before the game. He just talked about how the fans were and how much they had helped us build the program, but very complimentary. He's a class act.
All right. Tomorrow you wrap up the season against Florida Atlantic. We're going to talk about them in a few minutes. But explain to us what happens if you win and become bowl eligible. That does not necessarily mean you will play in a bowl game.
No, that's correct. Even if we get to the 6 wins, because we're in the second year of our transition. You remember last year, Bruce, that first year transition, no possibility of any postseason. In the second year, what the NCAA says, Bruce, they say if you really want to do this, if you really want to go from FCS to FBS, you could be 2 years without postseason. So the way it works is if there are not enough bowl eligible teams, there's 76 slots for teams. Currently, there are 72 slots already taken. So there's 4 left. There's a number of 5-win teams, including Virginia and Virginia Tech playing, that if those slots aren't filled, we could get invited. If slots are filled, we're out.
All right. Still to come on the season finale of the Old Dominion Football Show, we're going to talk about tomorrow's opponent, Florida Atlantic, and go to the mailbox one last time for a final installment of the Coach's Corner. And we've seen a lot of players go through the 1-minute drill this season, and when we return, a best of edition. That's next on the Old Dominion Football Show.
I love it.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
I believe I can fly.
Bobby Wilder, PMA. How do you know when Bobby Wilder's upset?
It's a little like this. He's really upset. I don't even know what to say right now. Something like that. I don't want him to see that. I believe I can touch the sky.
You said that you maybe want to go into TV here.
Yeah, I do.
Why's that?
Hopefully one day, you know what I'm saying, I could be on like HBO, you know what I'm saying, something like that. I need my own series, I need my own TV show. You know what I'm saying, you want to be my agent? Because I need an agent too.
I think about it every night and day.
Do you play Old Dominion on PlayStation or Xbox?
I get up there and make my ratings higher than everybody else. I play everything 99 speed, 99 acceleration, everything like that, catching.
Come on.
If there was one question you wanted to ask any of your teammates, what would it be?
What goes through David Washington's head on a daily basis?
Why would you ask that out of curiosity?
He's a really weird dude. Spread my wings and fly away.
All right, Monarch Nation, I'm gonna see y'all out there, man. 12th Monarch, let's get it.
All right, Monarch Nation, talk to you later.
See you guys out there.
Goodbye, Monarch Nation. Have a good one.
All right, Monarch Nation, see you out there on the field.
Thanks for having me.
Adios.
All right, time for the Coach's Corner. This week's question is from Mitchell Brown in Norfolk. Arch nemesis, Georgia Southern coach, is having a good year in his first season in the Sun Belt. Would you like to have another crack at them one day in a bowl game down the road?
I like the way Mitchell thinks. Mitchell, I'd love to have a shot at him this year. They're having a good season right now, Bruce. They're 8-3. One game to go, which I think they're going to win and end up 9-3. I would love it if we played them this year. Thanks for the question, Mitchell.
They always were great games. Now,
Yeah,
Coach,
very good.
tell me about Florida Atlantic. They play well at home, and like you were last week, I
Right.
got to think they're going to be all psyched up and looking for a win because now it's their senior day.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bruce. Like you said, their senior day, 3-1 at home so far this season. Their only loss was to UAB, 31-28. So they easily could be undefeated at home. They go for about 400 yards on offense, average 26 points. We were talking earlier about Lucky Whitehead, a wide receiver they have. He accounts for 33% of their offense. So we'll have an eye or two on him. Defensively, Bruce, they're giving up 35 points and about 420 yards a game. They've had a lot of injuries on defense, so they're capable of producing yards, scoring points. They lost to Middle Tennessee last week, Bruce, 35-34 in a game they led 34-21 with 5 minutes to go. And this is a Middle team that beat us 41-28 earlier in the year. So it's going to be a battle. We're going to have to play well to win.
All right, so what are your keys to beating Florida Atlantic tomorrow? A little more specific.
Yeah, what we're going to have to do, Bruce, is get off to a good start because, as you mentioned, it's going to be emotional. It's their senior day. Getting off to a good start, possessing the ball on offense, something we did well against Louisiana Tech, which will help our defense. Because remember also, it's going to be 75 degrees there. We haven't played in this heat for 6 weeks going back to Western Kentucky. So possessing the football. And then defensively, Bruce, we had really good success on third down against La Tech, specifically in the second half. So having success on third down defensively is going to be big for us in this game.
Well, regardless of what happens tomorrow, your thoughts now that your transition season going into Conference USA is over and the regular season comes to an end?
Yeah, number one, Bruce, it's been a great learning experience for all of us, coaches and players. Now we've got a sense of what the league is and how the league performs. And there's good football in this league. When I went into it this season, Bruce, the number one goal was to win the East. We wanted to win it. We didn't do that. Number two, be competitive in every game. Almost so far, just the Marshall game, we haven't been competitive. And that's also playing the ACC and the SEC. And then number two, be in the bowl conversation. And here we are, the last week, we're in the bowl conversation. A shot to be 6-6, a shot to be 4-4 in the East, which would put us in third place. I'll take it. I think it's been a successful start to our transition.
Coach, I agree, and I think it's been another successful Old Dominion football show season.
Yes, it has. How about this guy, ladies and gentlemen? He's
we
the
want to
best.
thank everybody for
pro.
joining us. We want to thank our producer, Brian Parsons, and our entire staff for putting this together every single week. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope we'll see you back here next year.
That's the plan.
All right.
Let's hope we can
Old
all keep it
Dominion
that
against
way.
Florida Atlantic tomorrow. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night.